So one of the biggest areas of duress in this industry is once the tenant moves out. So the tenant has rights when they move out. You would think they don't, but they do. So once a tenant vacates, and vacate in this industry is they give you the keys. So maybe they break the lease early. The leases are going to be up on May 31st, but they give you the keys on May 15th. That starts the 21-day period. So so when the tenant says they're going to leave the property, they have the right to do an inspection with you. Meaning they want to walk around, and you're going to walk around with them. You're going to say, okay, well, you're going to have to fix that. That's broken. That's going to be fixed. We're going to charge you for that. And the tenant can either effect those repairs themselves in a workmanlike fashion or hire people to do it in a workmanlike fashion and not have anything deducted out of security deposit. You have, this is critical, 21 days once they vacate to give an accounting on the security deposit to the tenant. You need to mail that to the last known address. If you don't, if you make a mistake, you just forget when they moved out or you miscalculated and you send out their proceeds 35 days later and they contest it, they will automatically get 100% of the security deposit back per California law. And if they think you did it or the owner did it intentionally and really dragged their feet, let's say it was 60 days later, they can get double the damages. So 2 times the security deposit plus the security, so they'll get 3 times the security deposit back. So it's really important that when the tenant says they're vacating or they vacate, that you ask them to do the walk around. If they don't want to do it, which majority of the time the tenant just takes off, they don't want to walk around the property, then you're going to do an inspection and you need to provide to the tenant a final accounting. The tenant is entitled to, per California law, normal wear and tear on the property. So the tenant's been there 10 years. There's very little you can debit them for other than damage to the property. You're not going to be able to hit them for a paint job or new carpet. Paint is considered by the courts to be gone, to be not be an issue after 3 years, and carpet after 5 years, for example. Now, of course, if they left marks in the paint job and has to be patched and textured, of course you can charge them for that. So you're going to get quotes from professionals for what the damages are. You're going to add that up, and you're going to deduct that out of the security deposit, and you're going to send them the balance. Okay, if there's loss of rent, that'd be included in there. If there are legal fees, that could be included in there. If they left early and you had to find another tenant, you can charge them for the leasing fee. So you can charge them for the damages suffered by your owner, financial damages suffered by your owner, and then we're going to give that to them. This is probably the most litigated thing. Tenant expects to get $5,000. You send them $4,000. They want the $1,000. You say, well, I debited you for this and this and this. It's very common. They take us to small claims court. Here's what I would tell you. Whoever documents better wins in small claims court. So if you've taken 100 photos, you've shown the damage, you've got the receipts from the vendors for the work they did, you even got a video of the property after they move out and show the condition. We are legally, unless a tenant hires professional cleaners, we're allowed to clean the property to make it rent ready. Almost every time we're going to charge the tenant for that, and that can easily be $250 to $500. So I think part of the process is educating your tenant when they move in, what their costs are going to have to pay, for example, the cleaning. Let them know if there's any damage, they're going to be responsible for it, and just document thoroughly. So when you have a tenant who's moving out, get ready to get everything done within 21 days.